Welcome, everybody, to the Real Smoke Podcast, the podcast for people who love cigars, whiskey, and shenanigans. We are coming to you live on Instagram and YouTube from the great state of Tennessee. My name is Charles, and I'm just one half of your Real Smoke duo. With me, as always, is my partner in crime, the man who makes you do time, the West Tennessee captain of the TriStar Herf Crew. He was voted best beard in Memphis by the Association of People Who Can't Grow Beards, the man who ain't scared to still take a nap, the brother who remembers the whiskey but forgets the crackers. He's the one, the only, Real Minutes himself. Put your hands together and help me welcome my brother from another mother, Mick.
I don't even know how to say hi after that. Bravo, brother. Bravo. That was awesome, man. I would hire you at an event. There's no doubt in my mind. Thank you. Probably
I usually have the radio DJ voice going on, but my DJ voice is shot. So, what's going on tonight, my brother?
Oh, man. Finally off my long run at work and actually enjoying a drink for the first time this week. So, drinking a smoke with my brother. I can't complain, man. How about you?
There you go. Literally just home from work not too long ago to get everything set up to rock and roll tonight. You're drinking, I think I saw that you were drinking Diplomatico.
Yes, sir.
Rum going. Nice.
Yep.
I've got the Water Boys' favorite drink of choice, some of that high quality H2O. That's what I'm sipping on tonight. I've done realized after playing around with the system that we're on, if I'm drinking, there's not really much of me pushing these buttons. So I do have me a drink set aside to be able to drink probably while I'm editing some of these or later as we go on into the evening. But right now, water is my best friend.
I'm glad you're in charge because after that 10, 11 day stretch at work, I probably wouldn't be much help on the button. So I appreciate you, brother.
No problem with that one. Let's see. My computer's deciding to go absolutely nuts.
Uh-oh.
So here we go. We did our dry run last week. I do have the podcast pulled up on my TV in front of me. So it's showing it on YouTube. So that's all nice and good. I am looking at it on Instagram right now. So we are live on Instagram doing pretty good. And we do have a couple of people on Instagram. We got Cigars with Big Al who's on there. So what's up, brother? Nice to see you on here tonight.
Oh yeah.
So just like last time, as comments come in, I'll read them off and things like that. And we'll just go from there. You want to lay out the podcast for this evening, see what we're going to be doing?
Yeah, man. So I think everybody by now has probably seen we're doing the Las Calaveras, the crowned heads for tonight. This is our first one that last week we did Silent Hero, but like Charles said, it's kind of a trial run. So tonight we're doing the Las Calaveras 2024. And he has his way of rating it. I'll let him explain his, and I'll explain mine a little. I've been using the same rating system since I've been doing this whenever we attempt to rate a cigar. So it's kind of my way, but it'll be kind of interesting to see where we end up at the end, if our numbers are close, and how we feel about the smoke.
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll talk about our cigar tonight a little bit, and we do have some cigar news going on. You have some stories that we've titled Meanwhile in Memphis. So you got some good stories from out that way. So we've got a lot of good stuff on tonight. So you want to jump into the cigar?
Yeah, we sure can. I'm going to get mine lit up here and get started.
Again, what we are smoking tonight is the Crown Heads 2024 Las Calaveras. It has a Ecuadorian Habano Escura wrapper. The binder and fillers are from Nicaragua, and it's made at the My Father factory. So
yeah, so I was just telling Charles before we get on here that I did not realize until I started doing a little research, like I always do, that these were originally started and made for commemorating those who we lost in the past year. And the one guy I was writing an article on. He was saying that he buys a box every year and smokes one when he's thinking about someone that he loved that passed or someone in his life. And it's really cool stuff. And Charles, do you want to say about the initials? I mean, I'm not sure everybody knows about that either because I had read about it, but I didn't actually notice it till tonight.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast that John did, I guess a few years ago. And he said that on the side, on the coins, the medallions on the side of it are some initials of some people in his life or friends, things like that, that had passed. And he doesn't put the names of who they are out there, but he does put their initials on there. So I think that's pretty cool. I have really enjoyed the Las Calaveras line. I think there's only a couple of years I didn't enjoy. I do collect all the Las Calaveras as they come out. The only two I do not have are the first 2 years that they were in existence. So I don't have that. Like Mick said, we are both going to be reviewing the cigars. We're going to, we try to think about, we try to figure out how we could both do them, together. But we do also understand we have, a wide range of palettes going on here. So the scoring system that I'll be using is the Cigar Public scoring system. If you do not know that system, go over to cigarpublic.com and check them out and look at some of the reviews. You can read some of mine and some of the other guys on there. But we score a 0 to 100 scale: construction, draw, burn, flavor, complexity, enjoyability, smoke output and texture, overall experience, and things like that. So we always put some good notes on there and things like that. So I did say that when I was writing this down, this is a very barnyard manure smell cigar, and usually if it's got that manure smell to it, I'm going to enjoy it. I did think that when I was writing my notes down of what I started getting, straight away, that this would be a cigar that you would not like so much.
Yeah, I'll see as we go through it here. The weird part of it is I smell raisin when I smell it before I lit it. Like there's a heavy raisin smell. But yeah, like Charles said, I also do the 1 to 100, so that'll be cool to see how close we are at the end. My categories I've always used were pre-light experience, flavor, smoking characteristics, and overall impression. And it kind of breaks down into categories and subcategories of those. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this thing and see where it takes us.
See, one of the things I always do, if you ever read any of my reviews, I will always, the first line of mine is on the light. So it's that first, as you're lighting it, what are the experiences that you're getting from it? And, the way that I do cigar reviews is I'll smoke them at least twice. When I'm doing a review for Cigar Public, we do them blind. We are asked to try 2 cigars, and that kind of makes sure that, one cigar is not a dud while one cigar is really good. It kind of just helps out with the scoring process. So yesterday I did smoke one and wrote down my notes, and I kind of want to compare this cigar with the notes that I wrote down. But I will say, off the light, I'm getting the same stuff. I get earth, I get dry leaves, I get white pepper. Retro is still dry leaves and pepper. To me, it tastes like in the fall when you're raking leaves and the wind comes and hits you in the face. Yep. I get that dirty, gritty earth, and I get that dry leaf taste.
Yeah, that's not usually my profile, but I am enjoying this so far. I think I do believe there's some little shout out to Devin, little nuttiness in this one. But I do still get a little bit of that raisin and definitely the pepper, man. The pepper is definitely right there in the palate. So yeah, so far it's it's definitely solid. You're right though. That earthiness is usually not my wheelhouse, but it's solid so far.
Which is the reason why I said I did not think you would like this one. So we'll smoke on this one a little bit, get into the third, and we'll come back and revisit it and talk about it. But we have a couple of people on Instagram right now talking to us. Cigars with Big Al says, "What's going on, fellas?" Not much. We're just hanging around smoking cigars. He's drinking some rum, and I'm living on some water, and we're just bullshitting and hopefully getting to talk to you. So if you've got some comments, post them in there, and we'd like to respond to them.
Hell yeah.
Bessie's on here from Cavalier. She says hi and gives us a wave. What's up, girl? Hope you're having a good time up north, having some good events up there.
I think
but
Bessie's
if you're watching
on
this, post them.
Sorry, I was going to say, I think she's still on a 2-day bender from her birthday week.
I think she's on a 2-week bender from her birthday week.
I think that's what I meant to say. Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys want to post some comments or stuff or post something in the comments, if you got questions or anything or thoughts, guys, if you were smoking the Cavalier Las Calaveras 2024 with us, as we start talking about some of our experiences with them, you put yours, post in the comments, whether you're on YouTube or Instagram, what you think about what the pre-light aromas are, or what do you think about the what the flavors are in the light, or what do you think the first third, what's it bringing for you? So post them in the comments, and we'd like to read what your thoughts are as well. Bessie says, not anymore, staying sober for the moment. Got lots of driving to do. Yeah, you better stay sober while you're driving.
Yeah, good stuff. It's been literally like a year probably since I've actually sat down and did one of these rating sheets, so I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. We used to do it on Real Minutes quite a bit. I know we said we'd kind of go into a little bit of backstory again, just in case somebody missed episode 0. I'll give my Real Minutes thing real quick before we get into our segments, and we'll go from there. But yeah, well, so I think Charlie.
Technically, our first segment is Let's Get to Know Us. So the title of this episode is Who the F Are These Guys? So, hey, Mick, who the F are you?
Same back at you, brother. So, yeah. So where do I begin? But so I've been smoking cigars off and on for probably 10, 15 years. I was one of those campfire, camping, fishing, special occasions kind of cigar smoker. And we went out to a concert one time at a local winery when I still lived in Pennsylvania. And I had bought like 2 cigars to take along with me. And my buddy Jeremy had gone along with us, and we had a cigar. And then the following weekend, we went camping with them. They have this big camper. And I don't know why I just told you they have a big camper. But we went camping with them. We had cigars that weekend, and it just started becoming more of a part of my way of unwinding and relaxing. And maybe 2 months later, I went to Florida with my wife to visit family. And I went to a small cigar store in Johns Pass, Florida. It's called Cuban Paradise. Great place. And I like to see what the old heads are smoking in these places. So I saw this older guy smoking a cigar, and I'm like, hey, man, what are you smoking? And he's like, man, it's not always about what you're smoking, but it's who you smoke it with and the real minutes you share along the way. And that's where Real Minutes was kind of born. And I talked to my buddy Jeremy about it, and I'm like, man, we ought to just start getting online and just having fun and smoking a cigar, because we're having those Real Minutes and kind of share with the cigar community. So that's where it all kind of began, and that's actually what led me to the TriStar Herf crew and Mick and Charles and the whole gang. And yeah, man, it's one of the best things I did. Since moving here, I met Devin, who's one of my closest friends down here. And just met some amazing people across the state of Tennessee and outside the state. I mean, it continues to grow. But TriStar Herf crew has been one of the most awesome things, because it kind of keeps me occupied, keeps me sane at times. It's cool because there's like people like John that did the same thing for a living that I do, that he can relate. We have these great conversations. It keeps me level, man. So, cigars is a big part of my life, and it's just something I truly enjoy deep down. And that's kind of who I am, man.
Awesome. Well, I mean, your story's probably a whole lot better than mine. For those who are watching and not watching, I'm Charles. I got into cigars. My first memory of cigars was being really young, and my uncle, he enjoyed smoking cigars. I don't really remember what he smoked or anything. I just remembered I loved the way they smelled. And this was back in the time where it didn't matter if you were smoking cigarettes or cigars, you smoked them in the house. So I'd be at his house or whatever, and he'd be smoking away on a cigar, and I absolutely loved the way it smelled. So, getting a little older and in my teens when you could actually smoke before 21, I got into, a cigar here and there. I don't really remember where I got the idea that I was going to have a cigar. I think somebody gave me an Alec Bradley something or other.
Okay.
That's what I'm remembering. And I went from there. I didn't really start getting serious until right before COVID happened. I know early 2019, I was surfing the internet and, found, I think it was Cigars Daily. I was actually watching some people do whiskey reviews, and it just happened to be, hey, you may enjoy this video that was next, and it was something from Tim Swanson on Cigars Daily. So I started watching that, and he started talking about the flavor notes he was pulling out. Okay, and this is how interesting and how new I was to it. He was talking about the cigar, and he was talking about that it was, a really chocolate forward cigar. He got lots of chocolate notes and things like that. I think it was the Amazon basin. Okay. So as somebody who didn't know anything, I was thinking it was a flavored cigar. So I go buy this, light it up, take a big ass draw off of it, thinking I'm going to get chocolate. Nope. I didn't get chocolate. I got choked. So I was like, what the hell? So all of a sudden, I think I was up till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, researching why I did not get chocolate. And it was like, we finding out that it brings up the memories, it's the memory of chocolate or whatever. And so it became a deep dive into cigars. Then all of a sudden it became, I wanted to try every cigar. I was looking here, looking there, going after every cigar I could possibly find. And COVID happens to decide it was going to hang out with us. And when you get stuck at home and nothing else to do, and at the time had a little bit of extra money in your pocket thinking this isn't going to last but a week or two, so let's go blow some money, and you start blowing money on bunches of cigars, come to find out that you probably spent too much. But went into that, joined a cigar club, the club that is the first iteration of what we have today, which is TriStar. Ended up becoming the president of that club. We ended up leaving that club, and we ended up starting TriStar Herb Crew. And that's where I am today. So I am the president for TriStar Herb Crew. As you heard in the intro, Mick is the awesome captain of the West Tennessee part of TriStar. I do cigar reviews, whiskey articles, and stuff for Cigar Public. And now on a podcast. I'm on a podcast.
Yeah, man.
So
I think ours were pretty. I think they were pretty equal, man. It was good. They were both great dives into kind of where we came from as cigar lovers. So I mean, it's good stuff. I do have one alibi. My 90-year-old dad smoked cigars when he was fishing, hunting, and like occasionally on like other events. But so just for the record, my dad's 90, not in the best of health. Two things. One, I still have this vision of having a cigar with my dad before anything happens to him that I have not fulfilled yet. I don't know if he'd even be up for it. I haven't even approached it yet, but that's something it's on my bucket list. But number two, he always smoked demi-tip White Owls.
oh wow.
So I'm just going to give you the heads up, brother. If anything does ever happen to my dad, you and I are going to be smoking a demi-tip White Owl on this podcast. So I'm just letting you know. So well, I'm just telling you.
See, similar stories. My dad was a huge cigarette smoker, and for a long time I smoked cigarettes. And it became something where he got off of cigarettes. He ended up, having the normal causes for it. He now has 10% lung capacity, all this wonderful stuff. He's up in West Virginia. So I always wanted to have a cigar with him, but in his health, it'll never happen. But my dad used to drink a whole lot, and his favorite thing was Jack Daniels. And when we were packing up our house on one of the moves, I remember being 13, 14 years old, my mom being at work, my dad being at work, and me being the one left at home to pack up the house, ended up finding that bottle. And I knew about the bottle. It was one that my dad kept in his desk drawer at work, and he would have him a little snort. And when some things happened, some shit went down, and he decided from that day on he wasn't drinking anymore. He brought that bottle home. It went into the bottom of his gun cabinet, and it stayed there. I ended up finding it about 15 years later. I still have that bottle.
Wow.
So last time he was up here, I actually told him about that bottle, and he's like, wow. So knowing that things are in that same time span for my dad, there will be a day where we're cracking open a bottle of some piss water Jack Daniels, and we're getting blistered drinking Jack Daniels that night. So
yeah,
I get you.
That's either one of the episodes that we just talked about are probably going to be like you and me, like sobbing and having a bad day. And but it might make for some great podcast shit, man. Who knows? But either way, that's when you need friends, man. And you need to reach out to those people that get it, man. We've had these conversations offline, and it's never easy when you watch like the strongest human in your life turn into a pile of mush. I mean, literally, what else do you say? It's just not easy to watch that happen, but it's part of life. So
I always described it as the moment that I realized my dad wasn't Superman.
Yep,
the hardest part of my life through everything I've gone through, the hardest part was realizing the moment that my dad was not Superman.
Yeah.
So
me too. These last 10, 15 years, I know my dad's a little older. I know your dad has some health issues and what have you, but man, it's just watching them turn into somebody they're not is the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Yeah, so, it is.
We're getting way too fucking deep right now.
Hey, you're drinking and I'm not. So go into how the podcast got started. I mean, what happened? How did this become a thing? And by the way, Big Bear in training just jumped on here. So what's up, Big Bear?
Big Bear, what's up, brother?
Yeah, guys, again, if you are smoking the Las Calaveras 24 or whatever you're smoking, post it in the comments below. Let us know what you're smoking, and let's start talking about what you're smoking as well as we go through this stuff. So help us out. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So we're talking about our podcast, right? Like I've been on a couple podcasts. I'm just kidding. So
you podcast,
yeah, man. So yeah, and that's what I do. Now, that's what she said. Love it. So yeah, Charles and I had been kind of kicking this around a little bit. I was pretty smashed the one night we were talking about it, and I was just like, man, smoking oak in real minutes, man, real smoke. Let's do this shit. And we just kind of joked around about it for weeks. And then we had the live event in Memphis, and we both got fairly tore up that day and smoked like 10 cigars. And we were just like, fuck it, we're doing this. I don't care, we're doing this. And surprisingly, both of our wives can be our biggest fans and our biggest critics at times. They were both like, hey, you guys probably should do this. So like they literally, Charles and I didn't know each other before a year and a half ago. And 95%, would you say? We're very, very similar on everything in life. Like it is so it's scary. So I don't know if that's good or bad for a podcast, but I think so far we're having fun with it, man.
Let's see. Going into some comments really quickly. Big Bear said, "Damn, I did not see a time when you were doing this." What's up, buddies? We're looking at. They're going to happen on Wednesdays or Thursdays because for the next few weeks they're going to flop, and it's going to be right around 8:00. We might be able to scoot it back a little bit as we get to working on our schedules or whatever. But the 8:00 hour, if we can nail that one down, that seems to be working. So just I guarantee if you look at the Real Smoke Instagram page, there's a lot that tells you what time it's on there.
I was just gonna say.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say time out. I Charles had to tell me earlier this week, stop posting shit, because I was posting shit every day. So Big Bear, if you missed it, I don't know, man. You must not be following the right page, because it's been on there every day.
Yeah, I sent a bunch of shit to Mick the night we got done with the podcast, and it was like, okay, I'll start putting that out. And I was thinking, okay, there's going to be a post today, maybe a video tomorrow, a post the next day, a video that it all came out like word vomit. And I was like, holy shit. I woke up the next day and my feed was nothing but our shit. And it's like, I don't even want to see me this much.
In my defense, I got excited. And also in my defense, we get like 150 followers in like 24 hours. So it was pretty sweet, man. Like I appreciate everyone out there. Thank you for the follow. Thank you guys for wanting to listen to our shit. On Charles, I didn't even tell you this one. A guy at work comes up to me and he goes, "Did I see you on Instagram on a podcast? It came across my reels when I was swiping shit." And I'm like, yeah, probably. Like so it's obviously getting out there, and we appreciate everybody. We really do.
Well, we did set out the challenge that we were getting really close to 400. I had to click off of the podcast on Instagram to go check this real quick. So if you're putting in comments, I'll get back to them. Let's see. I can't.
We got to be at like 370 something, 374, 375. Not that I stalk it or anything.
You can get mad at me because the TriStar Herf Crew page never liked Real Smoke, so shame on them.
Damn it!
Whoever the guy that runs their Instagram's a dick. Oh, that's me. My bad. Sorry.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I put out a challenge. We were really close to 400 people, and I said, help us get to 400 before the next podcast. We got close. We're at 372 right now. We did get a few people, and then I saw a couple drop, so it's up and down. But 372 is what it's at. I would love to see if before we get to the next podcast, which is in a week, we'll talk about that here in a minute. But we have another one coming out next Wednesday. Or is it next Wednesday or in 2 Wednesdays? 2 Wednesdays.
I think it's 2 Wednesdays.
Yeah, in 2 weeks. So I would love to see us get over 500 by the time we have the next one in 2 weeks. So post it out there to everybody you can, guys, and see if you can get that. Also, if you don't mind going to YouTube and looking us up at the Real Smoke Pod, jump on there and do that. We would love to get our subscribers on YouTube on there, and you can also post comments and stuff on there as well.
Yeah, we first week we hit over 300. Now we're pushing 400 in the second week. So and it's not about numbers; it's about quality interactions with the cigar community. Like we want to reach as many people as we can that are smoking the same thing as us, and pairing stuff. And maybe you can teach us some stuff, man. That's honestly what it's all about. So we're hoping that we can hit that 500 mark, but just keep posting, following, sharing our stuff, and we greatly appreciate it. Apparently, it made it to the guy at work, so it's definitely out there because he don't follow any of us, so it's a good thing.
There is a interesting name that just popped up on there, and I think he said he was smoking a factory smoke. When I clicked off, I lost his comment, lost everybody's comment. So right now we do have Silent Hero Cigars on with us. We have Big Bear in Training, Cigars with Big Al, and an interesting name, Douche-asaurus Rex. Douche-asaurus Rex. That, I mean,
I love him already.
That's awesome. I think he said he was smoking a factory smoke. I'm not sure, but put it in the comments below. What are you smoking tonight? Let us know what you're smoking. If you're smoking the Las Calaveras 2024, I'd love to know what y'all think about it as well. Yeah,
I don't think Douche-asaurus is following us because I would have remembered that name and probably shared it with you, Charles. So I think that whoever that is needs to follow us because I need to know what that person's all about. I need to know. Now at this point, I'm going to find them.
He did say he was smoking a Drew Estate, so I hope you're enjoying it. I mean, every Douche-asaurus Rex needs to smoke a Drew Estates. The number The number one cigar of Drew Estate is being smoked by the Dushosaurus Rex. So
I'm posting that out at some point. As soon as I find this guy's Instagram, I'm posting that shit out.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Love the name. It's I mean, hell, it
That's
just
great.
got us talking about it. So great job on that one.
Love it. Love it.
So how far are you into your cigar?
I'm
midway into the first third.
Yep. I'm a little over the first third. I think I'm hitting a little too hard. It's been a long week, but yeah, I'm probably, I don't know. I'm not quite half.
Dushosaurus Rex. I will always just say the full name. Dushosaurus Rex says he follows Smoke and Oak. Thank you for that. He follows TriStar Herf. We thank you for that one as well. Says he's going to go find the Real Smoke, find Real Smoke right now. And if you look up Real Minutes, you can get Mick on yours as well, and you'll have everybody. The whole party will be at the Dushosaurus Rex party.
You will not miss a thing, I promise. And neither will we, apparently.
So in my notes, I had in the first third, I got oak, earth. I got a slight bready sweetness. I got a lot of baking spice. The retro had black pepper, oak. It had a strong black pepper burn, almost to the point of a cinnamon kind of burn in the sinus. Okay. Again, mine is having an okay draw, and I say it's like a slight medium strength. It's doing what it did to me last night. It's got a great burn until you try to turn it this way, and then it goes a little nuts.
Weird. Okay.
Two cigars bought at two different stores, and I've had these in the humidor for 2 or 3 weeks now. So it's nothing that they're aged, and I did have in mind that I had to do one slight little touch up, which I'm doing right now. So it's following the same suit as the last time, but again, oak, earth, slight bready, a lot of baking spice, and some good strong pepper on the retro hill.
Okay. No, we're not far off. I think that I was getting some nuttiness, absolutely black pepper, especially on the retro. That first like eighth of the cigar was absolutely all black pepper. Like it was stronger, and it was weird because usually you get more of that towards the back, but it was more in the front on this one. Nuttiness, black pepper, and I still get some of that raisin. Maybe it's just because that's all I smelled and tasted on the cold draw.
Interesting.
Yeah, I still swear I taste some raisin, but maybe it's in my head because that's what I got in the cold draw. But I'm still definitely getting a little bit of that. And I think my burn is nearly perfect, which is a little different than yours, but that's nearly razor sharp.
So did you ash yours, or did your ash fall natural?
So I have my drink sitting right in front of where I ash, so I was starting to get nervous. So yes, I did ash it recently, but awesome. No, so far, man, I'm actually enjoying it a little bit more than I thought I would because of your earthiness thoughts on it. But I am enjoying it. It is a little earthier than I usually like, but man, there's enough stuff offsetting it, and it's such a smooth smoke. I am enjoying it for sure.
Now, I will say this to me, and I guess I'll kind of spoiler some of the rest of it. As strong as the black pepper, the earth, kind of the grit that I got off the light, I figured this was going to be more of a gritty cigar. To me, This turns out being a savory cigar. This is to me, it's a very easy smoke. Now the retro on it will smack you up front on the first third, but I think it did calm down for me last time. But to me, this becomes, instead of a pepper bomb or something that you're like, ooh, oh, wow, it's this flavor. I think it becomes more of just a savory, relaxing cigar.
This is why you review cigars, and I'm just a podcast whore, apparently. I'm just kidding. But I, literally, I could not have explained it any better. I know I'm not the whole way through this yet, but I would absolutely say savory. And nothing has smacked me in the face yet. I mean, the first couple retros were a little bit tough because of all that black pepper. But I mean, honestly, it is smooth as fuck, and it's awesome. Like I am really, really enjoying this.
Oh yeah. I think that's the way it maybe was set up to and meant to be, was to get that, that gritty, spicy note out of the way at first. But yeah, going into the second, third right now, I guess because I don't shut up. It's a nervous tick for me. So and this is absolutely like the more terrifying stuff for me is to actually do this kind of stuff. So I guess I talk a lot, but yeah, I mean, right now it's complete. I hate using the word smooth, but you can't describe it other than smooth.
Yeah, it's a smooth. It's good.
We have somebody on YouTube. We have Cigars Unbanded says square. Cool. Thank you, Cigars Unbanded.
I think it's the salute. I think it's the salute symbol.
Ah, I see. I
think
get
it's
a square
salute
on mine. Cool. Well,
so
if it's a salute,
shout out to Cigars Unbanded. They just started following us today. They sent me a message, something like, "We like what you guys are doing, whatever." But these guys are. So I haven't fully dug into it because I've had a long week. But I think they get cigars every week that are unbanded. They review them and then they find out later what they are. Basically, what you do with Cigar Public.
nice.
Cool. It's kind of, yeah. So the whole thing and the theory around it's amazing. I was going to bring it up to you offline. We definitely need to check these guys out, and we appreciate you guys jumping on. That's awesome because I really like what they're doing.
Cigars Unbanded, thanks so much for signing. Following us on Instagram and YouTube. I absolutely appreciate it. I will definitely be checking you guys out as well. Thanks for the comment. If you're smoking something, post it in the comments. Let us know what you're smoking. And if you don't know what you're smoking, figure it out and then let us know what you're smoking. I mean, put a hand on it and let us know.
Very well.
Let's see. Dushasaurus says, I got it and back. Keep it up, guys. We will do our best.
Hell yeah. So where do we want to start? Do we want to start with go ahead.
I was just thinking Dushasaurus just told us to keep it up. I mean,
That's what she said.
Hang on. Damn it, you beat me to it.
What the fuck?
Love it. Oh yeah, we haven't used that one. So are we starting on Cigar Public news, or are we on Meanwhile in Memphis news? Your call, man. Where are we starting?
Let's go Meanwhile in Memphis. That way I can go ahead and do my Meanwhile while not in Memphis after yours, and then I'll get into some Cigar Public. But by the way, you're smoking at least, and I need to start smoking. I need to shut up and smoke. We'll be in the second, third by then. So yeah,
I'll attempt to keep mine lit in the meantime here.
Pull up my news.
Very nice. So meanwhile, in Memphis, there will be a graphic for this later. My buddy there is going to take care of that. So if you guys we're bouncing around there. We good? There we go. Oh shit! I hate being the big screen. All right. So
you just like being the big spoon.
I do. I kind of do. So if you guys missed last week, I live in a third world country, and there's always good headlines every day. So I'm going to the point of this segment is for me to give you an actual headline that I'm finding online. I can actually show you the headline. And then I'm going to read you a quick story, and we're going to move forward. So I'm going to do 2 or 3 of these. Charles is pushing me to do all 3. I was going to try to skip out and do 2 because I don't like being the big screen.
All right, I'll take you.
So the first
off the big screen.
Thanks, brother. So the first story of the day. Man hides in garbage truck to escape shooting. Memphis, Tennessee. A victim was targeted by a gunman. Made a getaway on a garbage truck Tuesday night, but police are still looking for the man caught on video firing at that truck. That guy. If you know him, call somebody.
What the fuck?
Thank you. Officers responded to a shooting around 5 p.m. at Macon and Salem in Grahamwood. They found a man lying in the road suffering of multiple gunshot wounds. He was taken to a nearby hospital in critical condition. I can't read this shit. A witness on the scene told police that he was inside his home when he heard multiple gunshots outside. He said he saw a man with a semi-automatic pistol shooting at the victim, and he was running down the road. Police say a Memphis City garbage truck was driving through the neighborhood while the shooting was happening. The victim jumped onto the side of the garbage truck, screamed at the drivers, telling them to get away from the scene. The suspect continued to shoot at the garbage truck as it fled the scene, and it was struck by multiple gunfire. Reporters say the garbage truck was stopped at Salem and Macon. The victim rolled off the truck onto the ground and waited for responders to arrive. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. This one's scary, sad all at the same time, but there's one part in here that I had to throw this story in. Memphis police are looking for a man who stabbed a pregnant woman. Memphis police are looking for a man they believe had stabbed a pregnant woman, 9 months pregnant, with his own child in the hand and abdomen. So he stabbed her in the hand and abdomen, and she's 9 months pregnant. The victim went into surgery, now stable. Great news.
Yeah.
So here's the part that had me fucked up.
What the
MPD says the attack happened at a home on Lexington Circle. The victim told investigators that she was arguing with her baby daddy when he picked up a knife, used it to deflate an air mattress which she was laying on, and then stabbed her. Why is the air mattress even part of the story? Like, but it's right there. So yeah, that's a good one. I'm just gonna leave it at that one. They still haven't caught the guy. If anyone knows Crime Stoppers, his name's Jeremiah Dean. I don't know. Now my tires are gonna get slashed tonight. But yeah. So that's where we're at with that one. So this is the last one. Fast food shooting suspect charged with murder. Employees in shock. A Tennessee man has been charged with second-degree murder after Memphis police say he was fatally shot. He fatally shot a man outside of a Domino's. We were just talking about Domino's the other night. I love Domino's. After a fight on Saturday night. At 11:40 p.m., the officers responded to a shooting call at Domino's Pizza. They located the unidentified male victim on the ground in the parking lot. The victim was lying on his back, blah, blah, blah. A witness told officers that her boyfriend, I'm not saying his name again, because I already got one guy stabbed in my tires, was the person who got into a physical altercation with the victim. But it's this guy, if you know him. According to the police, the altercation escalated to Hopkins allegedly shooting the victim and fleeing the scene in his Toyota Camry. It's a good getaway vehicle. Officers were told that Hopkins fled the scene, blah, blah, blah. There's one really good part in here. So I'm just going to sum it up for you. The guy went in, tried to play with counterfeit money, and then left with the pizza, like $12 in pizza. And the owner or the employee followed him out, got into an argument with him, went to his car, got a gun, shot him, and then fled in his Toyota Camry. So there is Meanwhile in Memphis.
Welcome to Memphis.
That's where we go.
Nice. There's not much you can say about those. But
that's less than a week's worth. That's less than a week's worth, brother. I don't know.
So this isn't Meanwhile in Memphis. This is a story that my wife sends to me at like 11 o'clock last night. I'm finishing up some work out here, finishing up a cigar. And she sends me a kind of I mean, she's like, this has got to make your day. So I look at that, and my only reaction
What
was,
the fuck?
and the only reason being is because we added a sound in here that we're using and the stories behind it. Do you know this clip?
Oh, Jesus.
Spit on that thing.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, so Haley Welch, the one who got famous for being out in Nashville to do that, well, we finally found out what she's doing next.
Oh, boy. Wow.
She now has a podcast that starts, I guess, next week called Talk to Her.
So we're now competing with a blowjob queen. I mean, what? How else do you say it?
Yeah, I guess so. So, I mean, she sent me that clip, and the first thing I thought
What the
was,
fuck?
and that's exactly what I sent her a message back, and she's like, "Yeah, this is sad." But so, I mean, you go down to Memphis, get a little drunk, happen to say something, I guess, stupid, and all of a sudden you're now rich. You get to quit your job, you get to tour everywhere, you can now have unlimited resources, and instead of just fading out into history, you're now creating a podcast, which I can't say anything. We have this going on, but at the same time,
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
spit on that thing.
so that clip has kind of ruined my train of thought at times. Today I was reviewing a blueprint at my job, and the person who stamped and certified the engineered drawing was THAUCK. It's pretty much hawk to it. I'm the whole time I'm trying to review a drawing for official sign off, and that's all I can think of. I'm like, fucking A. So yeah, whatever.
that's funny. That's funny. So that was my little bit of news for
Love it.
It's not Meanwhile in Memphis, but it's almost like what the just happened. So
Yeah. Famous for nothing, brother.
Famous for nothing. So let's get into Cigar Public news. So if you don't know, I am one of the contributors for Cigar Public. If you want some industry news, some cigar reviews, or some whiskey content, go to cigarpublic.com or look them up on Instagram at Cigar Public. So I will have a couple of, I've got a cat next to my feet. Sorry. Train of thought just went out. Go away. Anyways, sorry about that. Got a couple of stories from Cigar Public from this last week. First one is my wife actually told me about it before I read it on there. So, fire destroys the Aganorsa Leaf tobacco facility in Nicaragua. Late yesterday afternoon, September 4th, a tobacco sorting facility of Aganorsa Leaf caught fire and was largely destroyed. Firefighters and the Army responded to fight the blaze at the facility at La Barraca. I mean, I speak hillbilly Spanish, so whatever. Which is located just south of Esteli along the Pan American Highway. Officials have yet to determine what the cause of fire was. Terrence Riley, Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Aganorsa Leaf, stated yesterday, one of our buildings caught fire. No one was hurt, and although this is a great loss, we are fortunate to have other facilities with tobacco to minimize the impact on operations. According to one eyewitness, approximately 20 bales of tobacco were saved from the blaze, removed by individuals from the facilities before the flames could reach them. Unfortunately, the facility fires are not especially rare in the industry. Just days ago, on Monday, September 2nd, another fire damaged a universal tobacco processing facility in the Dominican Republic. So if you go to Half Wheel, you can actually go see, we shared the video from Half Wheel, but you can go see the fire at the building, and dang, what a fire. But Aganorsa loses one of their buildings.
Wow.
That's nuts. But again, just talking to some of the people that we know from the different facilities and the different brands, fires are not that uncommon. So at least there was no loss of life, and they're big enough to where they're going to recover pretty quickly. Let's see. You ever smoke any Esteban Carrera? I enjoy them.
I have. Yeah, once or twice. Yeah.
Esteban Carrera Cigar Company to expand distribution to global market. Craig Cunningham, owner of Esteban Carrera Cigars Company, expands distribution of his brands into the global market. Craig partnered with Cop Tobaccos to launch its premium hand-rolled long filler cigars featuring aged wrappers and fillers during the Interback Fair in Dortmund, Germany from September 19th through 21st. This partnership between Esteban Carrera's company and Cop Tobaccos creates a unique opportunity to reach cigar aficionados around the world. We are happy with the Cop Tobacco team, says Christopher May, owner of Christopher May Premium Cigars, who is Craig Cunningham's strategic global marketing partner. So if you enjoy Esteban Carrera and you're not only here, but you're across the pond, it looks like they're going to be coming to a shop near you. So congratulations to Esteban Carreras.
Very nice.
And last one, Sinistro. I used to not really be a big fan of Sinistro, but Sinistro has become one that I've enjoyed here a lot recently. But Sinistro to release 2 limited edition blends next month. So Sinistro Cigars to introduce 2 special releases to the market next month. According to Coleman Fine of Sinistro Cigars, consumers can expect to start Cowboy Caviar and the Last Cowboy Maduro Barber Pole releases sometime in September. Both cigars are manufactured at Tabacalera El Artista in the Dominican Republic. Details for the blends are the Last Cowboy Maduro Barber Pole is going to have a Connecticut broadleaf Maduro wrapper and a mixed with Candela. So we have a Candela and broadleaf wrapper, Mexican binder, and Nicaraguan Dominican Piloto Cubano fillers, all blended by Sinistro. They're going to average, the Lanceros are going to be about $10, the Robustos 11, and Toros are going to be about 12. So all decent cigars. I'm glad they're keeping it around the $10 range instead of going up like everybody else to $15 or $20. The Cowboy Caviar. Go ahead.
Is that something that's somewhat common? Because I'm not a big Candela guy, but is that something where if they do a barber pole, is it Candela and Maduro normally, or like what's that normally with?
Some do. Some usually do either a barber pole with a broadleaf or a Habano. But yeah, that's usually they get that grassy note and put it with something a little bit spicier. The Cowboy Caviar is going to have a Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper, an Indonesian binder, and a T13 Ligero Dominican Nicaraguan Ligero blended cigar by Sinistro. Robusto is going to be about $10 and Toro is going to be about 11. So once again, they're keeping them down to the $10, $11 mark. So great job for them. So that's my 3 stories from Cigar Public.
Awesome as always, man. I appreciate what you do on that side of it, man. That's a great connection for us, and it's a great way to really learn more about what we love. And yeah, no, I really enjoy that segment, brother.
I can't say enough about the guys at Cigar Republic. I mean, it was a site that has changed editors so many times that we've kind of lost what we were doing, and we gotten into weeds so far. But right now, it looks like we are on a roll. We're doing great, and they're actually putting out some really good material now, and I'm proud to be a part of them, and proud to be able to feature them on here. I mean, they're our news source. So great job, guys. Really appreciate what you guys are doing for us.
Yeah, they've been a big supporter of us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, they've actually been posting some of our stuff on there, and I absolutely love that. So,
hell yeah.
Cigar check. I'm almost at the end of the second third. Where are you at?
You caught up. I'm almost at the end of the second third. So you're gonna love me for this, but I am going to take like a 2-second piss because I drank way too much rum. So hey, we always said we're gonna keep this real. So I'm gonna run away for like 2 seconds, and I'll be right back because I'm gonna be miserable if I don't. So you got this, brother. You got something to fill 2 minutes?
Have fun. You got something to kill 2 minutes. I will figure it out. So really quickly, jumping on here to some comments. I know I had some on here. Cigars Unbanded. Cigars Unbanded. We go live every Thursday at 9:15 p.m. Eastern. I know we are smoking, but the other 30 plus don't know or don't. Cheers, fellas. Okay. Cigars Unbanded. Very cool. We'll try to check it out sometime. But thank you for following us, and thank you for jumping on here and hanging out with us. Let's go to Instagram really quickly, see what's going on there. Sorry for the delay in sound. Just trying to scroll back because I had my phone put away. Douchosaurus Rex. Man, still love that name. Douchosaurus Rex says he just followed Real Smoke as well as Real Minutes. So I want to thank everybody for jumping on here and being a part of this. This is our first episode that we are technically doing. So this is our episode 1. So I really appreciate you guys jumping on here and hanging out with us. And Mick is back.
Hi guys.
Our number one guy over here, Douchosaurus Rex, just said he went and followed Real Minute. So you now have a Douchosaurus Rex following you.
That might have made my day. Love it.
I guess he commented on one of your stories. He said they make meds for that shit. They really do.
I'll have to check it out.
Smoke and Sounds podcast jumped on, and they're on here tonight. So what's up, Smoke and Sounds? Nice to see you guys on here.
What's up, bro?
Big Bear says, and that's how the cookie crumbles. Big Bear's also giving a shout out to the one and only Bryce. I hope Bryce is still on here. Can't see who all's on here, but what's up, Bryce? West Side Cigar Smoker 805 says, got an SP 1014 silver, thoroughly enjoying it. Sanj Patel has been putting out some good cigars. I haven't had the silver yet, but let us know what you think about it. Let us know what some of the flavors are that you're picking up from it. Love to hear some more. Big Bear says he did hop on for a few, so glad he jumped on here and was hanging out with us. If you have any ideas of things that you would like for us to do on here, or things that you would like to see here, or whatever, please let us know. Put it in the comments. It's so much easier to talk to you guys if you're watching on YouTube and posting comments on YouTube, because I can at least highlight those. But I can get on my phone and go through here and read some of the comments that you guys are posting. So put as many comments as you can on here, even if you don't like what we're doing and you think if we're smoking a cigar and we're telling you that it tastes like rubber bands and cooking oil, tell us how bad our cigar notes suck, and that we should never be giving review ideas again in the upcoming show. So, whatever you think, post it in the comments, and I'll read them. I'm not shy. So
please tell me how long you've been sitting on rubber bands and cooking oil, because that's just fabulous. That's like fucking line of the night, man.
That literally just came into my head,
dude. It's brilliant.
I
Bravo.
actually changed it from dog turds to cooking oil because for some reason I felt like I didn't want to say dog turds, so it was going to be rubber bands and dog turds.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I was looking for the clapping thing. There we go.
West Side Cigar Smoker says no rubber bands or cooking oil here. Well, that's great, because if your cigars taste like rubber, I will say this: I had a cigar that the final third tastes like what you would smell from burnt tires. I did have one that did that one, and it was a horrible ass cigar. It was one that I was having to do for a review, and it took everything I had in me to try to smoke it. Let's see, got another comment on here. Jordan says you should choose a cigar a week before so you can add it to your post leading up to the pod. It would be really cool if someone made a thumbnail for the YouTube thing and put the cigar in the middle of it, and then his partner posted the shit out of it.
That would be cool.
May work. Jordan, I like your idea. We will jump on that one, and we will do that one. By the way, the next cigar that we'll be smoking will be something from Cavalier, because in 2 weeks our guest will be Brian with Cavalier. So get your Cavaliers ready. If you can find the new 2024, go for that one. I don't know exactly what I'll be smoking, but I will find something that's Cavalier. West Side Cigar Smoker said, well, I love that smell. So he loves the smell of burning tires. Cool.
Yeah.
Robert just got on here, our knife brother. So he's on here watching. What's up, Robert? Big Rob.
What's up, Fred? Inside joke, my bad. What's up, Robert? I love you, brother.
Leave Durst alone, because you know what he's doing. He's doing it all for the nookie.
He definitely is, or he's breaking stuff. One of the two.
Yeah. Jordan says, nice. He's got a few of the Cavaliers. So awesome, Jordan. And Jordan also says, gotta go, guys. Have a great night. Thanks for jumping on here, Jordan. We really appreciate it. So notes on the second, third, since I am moving into the third, I said still oaky. I got a lot of oak, baking spice, white pepper. Retro is woody, slight coffee, white pepper, good burn, and as true, the burn became good. I said it's got a medium plus strength. It's not much more than if it's hitting medium plus, it's at the very low end of medium plus. I agree. It's not much more than a medium.
I agree. I'm in the same realm with medium plus. I'm still getting nuttiness, black pepper, maybe a little leather at this point, but it's been very consistent, and it's not some cigars will give you that roller coaster. I'm not getting that with this. Like, it's a very smooth transition from foot to finish. So it's been very good so far.
Oh yeah, it's a very consistent cigar. It's not one that you have to sit and think about. When I say that it's a light it and forget it cigar, I don't mean it in a bad way. It's not one that you have to worry about ramping up and making you sick. It's not one that you have to worry about the flavors just disappearing. It's going to give you the bold flavors. It's medium plus in body. It's given the flavors, but it's a good medium strength.
Absolutely. No, it's really, really good.
West Side Cigar Smoker says, lots of racing cars and burning rubber in youth. I absolutely love that smell. Not sure I want that in a cigar, though. I get that. Been to a couple of racetracks, and I love that. I like that smell there. I like that smell of, fuel and, tires.
Yes.
I really don't want to smoke a gasoline tire covered cigar.
I actually grew up in the kind of the hub of sprint car racing in Pennsylvania. And we had 3 or 4 great tracks there. I've been to Eldora 3 or 4 times. I don't know if there's any sprint car fans listening to this, but Eldora Speedway, now owned by Tony Stewart, Amazing place. I was there to the King's Royal 2 or 3 times, and I was there for the $1 Million to Win. That smell of burning fuel and rubber, I agree, man, 100%. Like it is absolutely something that, I mean, throw a couple bush lights in you and you're ready to go. Like it's like the best thing ever.
That sounds like a natty ice kind of day. I've been to a few small tracks and saw some little short shits, but the only really big track, I took my dad to Atlanta, and we got to watch a NASCAR race, and we were right up next to the fence. And Atlanta, you see them, they're gone, you see them again, but the smell there, it's to me, there's very few things that you can never mistake the smell for. You know, gunpowder, once you smell that one, it's always there.
Yep.
Fresh blood, whether it's an animal that you've harvested or you've had to work an accident scene and it's just been everywhere, the smell of fresh blood. And then racetracks, 3 smells that you will never forget.
Brother, that's why you are so great at this, man, whether you know it or not. Like you just described, I have nothing to add to that fucking list. Like those 3 things are 3 things that you will never forget in your life. 100%, dude, bro. Spot on, brother. Where the fuck's the applause button? Hang on. There we go. Amazing.
At Riverside in Memphis Motorsports Park.
What's that? Memphis Motorsports?
Yeah, he said, Cigars of Big Al said, grew up at Riverside and Memphis Motorsports Park. Okay.
All right. I'll have to get with Big Al on that because I miss sprint car racing, man. I've been to Sealands Grove Speedway. I lived like 20 minutes from there. Williams Grove. I've been to Bristol to watch sprint car racing, and obviously Eldora. There's just so much sprint car racing in central Pennsylvania. It's amazing. And I'll get with you later, Big Al. It's not the time or the place, but I'll get with you. I definitely miss sprint car racing, man. I love those little tracks, man. It's just such a great time.
I would like to go to a drag strip. I want to see some, whether it's motorcycle drag racing or just some good drag racing. I would love. That's one thing I've never been to, but would love to go. The people that have done that said that, the moment that they take off, that first sound floors you, and it's a sound that you'll never forget.
So look up Beaver Springs Dragway. It was about 45 minutes from where I lived, and we go there over Labor Day and Memorial Day. That it would do the jet truck. So they had a Mack truck with a jet engine in it. And that thing just sitting there doing its pre-trial, trying to fire. And when it goes, you feel it. Like like everybody's holding their ears or has muffs on, and it is one of the coolest things. And you feel the fucking heat when it goes by you. Like, and it's doing like a 5-second quarter mile. It is unbelievable. It's one thing you never forget. Like you said, man, it's one of those things like it's burned in you once you see it one time, and it's the coolest fucking thing. But I'll send you a video of it later. But it's so fucking cool.
Westside Cigar Smoker says, "Give me a hazy IPA, and he's in heaven."
My man. So if I have one, yeah. So I would compare my knowledge of beer to Charles's knowledge of bourbon and cigars. My favorite beer of all time is a good hazy IPA. My favorite breweries are Treehouse, Trillium, Tired Hands. If you know any of them, you're lucky, because I grew up in an area where I could actually get those, and I have a best friend that lives in Massachusetts where he can get me Treehouse and Trillium. But man, hazy IPAs.
You're speaking Chinese. So we need to do. We'll do an episode where I send you a whiskey and we sit and review it together, and then you send me a hazy IPA and we'll sit and review it together.
I'm down 100%, man. That is what we need to do. Like the shit we don't like, we need to like at least do an episode with. That'd be phenomenal.
That would be rebellious of us.
Rebellious. There you are. I see what you've done there.
Cigars and Big Al says his dad owned a B car and a limited sprint. I kind of know what
Very nice.
a limited sprint is. I don't know what a B car is. So
I believe it's a
if
modified.
you help the stupid one out, I was about to say, if you help a stupid one out, post it in the comments. Let me know what a B car is.
Big Al, tell me if I'm wrong.
Big Al,
It's modified.
he says that Riverside is in West Memphis.
Okay. It's like 25 minutes from me.
Isn't that where the Fresh Prince was from? He was born in West Memphis, that was West Philadelphia.
Born and raised. Yeah.
Speaking of Philadelphia, if you didn't notice over, we had some people that we were, chiming in back and forth with, and we were talking about the Braves Philly game. We both are baseball and football fans. We make a lot of jokes that we are a lot alike. One area that we are violently different in, he likes some dumbass named Harper. I don't know any other. He's a big Phillies fan. I'm a big Braves fan. So it's fun.
But
it was fun when they were, when they were playing, we were able to just, we were able to like kind of give each other shit back and forth. But the sad part is it was at the expense of our club because we were doing it in our club chat, trying to get people involved and interested. And they were just like, shut the fuck up. I ain't even listening to you guys. So we are also,
I do think you won that one in the club.
Where we differ in baseball, we are sadly alike in football. We are big Falcons fans. So we may come up with a segment because if you know anything about the Falcons, you know that they are the best team that love to lose. So we will probably have a segment every other week or so that says, what the fuck did the Falcons do this time?
Yeah.
So, we'll be covering some of that stuff. I've got some good ideas, and I'm a little late on it, how we could have made, some of the football into a competition between us, because it'd give us some good stuff just to browbeat each other with. But comments. While you guys are listening to us, post in the comments below. Anybody in here a baseball fan? If so, what are your teams? If anybody is a football fan, what are your teams? And I'll look at some of that here in a little bit.
Yeah. So the Falcons thing, like, what the fuck did the Falcons do? Like, me and Charles had this conversation multiple times. Like, they pay Kirk Cousins ridiculous amount of money, which I don't think is a terrible idea. He's always been a solid quarterback. He reminds me a lot of Matty Ice. But then you draft a quarterback with your first round draft pick.
You don't draft a quarterback. It's not you didn't draft a quarterback. You drafted the best quarterback
in the draft
to sit on a bench.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
I know we
I should be
were
used to
screaming for about we were both screaming when we found out that one. We'll have some stuff. We'll have some stuff about football and stuff like that for anybody who likes football and stuff like that. So, Westside Cigar says a friend of mine owns a brewery in Sacramento area called Claim Steak. You might want to check.
Haven't heard of it. I'll look it up. Yeah.
He said they also make some awesome beer. Cigars with Big Al says it's a sprint car with no wing but had a roof. It had a roof? What happened to the roof? Was the roof on fire? Did they watch the motherfucker burn?
So I'm going a little off subject with this, but Big Al liked it. So I went for that $1 million to win out in Eldora Speedway. It was $1 million to win, and they left the fans vote online if it would be a wing sprint car race or a non-wing sprint car race. And everybody voted, well, not everybody, but it was like 60-40 voted non-wing sprint car. And I was totally against it at first because I love watching those sprint cars glide into the corner and letting that wing hold them. It's just amazing. But after watching the non-wing race, the right driver won that $1 million because you're driving through the corner. Like the best drivers would go in there and basically take a 90-degree angle and cut that corner off and pass 2 or 3 people in the process. Like it was one of the coolest races I've ever been to. Oh, and side note of that, I don't know if anybody knows who Danny Lasowski is. He was they called him the Flying Hawaiian something. I don't know. His car was Hawaiian themed like every year. And after the race, after the $1 million to win, I think he got second in that race. But he was down there like selling shirts, signing autographs in the pits. And I went down there to buy a shirt. He was my favorite racer. And went down there, and they ran out of shirts. But Danny Lasowski throws me his lei that he's wearing. And of course, me, smash drunk, yell, "I just got laid by Danny Lasowski." It turned into this whole fucking thing. But it was a great time. It was a great time. But yeah, that non-wing race.
Because I was about to say, you went to a race and some dude laid you.
Yeah, exactly. I pulled it myself. It was good. Oh wait, I pulled it myself. Never mind. That's what she said.
What the fuck?
That's what she said.
So we asked if anybody had any sports teams. Westside says San Francisco Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. I'm sorry.
Wow. That is crazy.
Big Al says that's great. See, I had an idea that we would, if we wanted to make it interesting, and we can talk about it some other time. We're both Falcons fans, so we can't give each other shit on that one. But we could pick a secondary team, and whether it was a whatever team, root for that team, and see who's secondary.
And we have like a challenge on the line for the next episode. That'd be fun.
Could be
something crazy.
Who would be your secondary team? By the way, there it goes. Goodbye.
I just took mine off. Yeah.
She just took her top off.
Absolutely. Man, I don't even know because I'm like diehard Falcons. If I had to have a secondary team,
mine would be Detroit.
Probably. They're good too. They're gonna be really good this year. Probably because I root for the wife's team, unless they're playing my team. Probably the Niners.
Well, see, if I go to my wife's team, my wife's team was the Niners because her dad's favorite team was the Niners growing up. So when we first met, it was always her rooting for the Niners, me for the Falcons.
Yep. They used to be division opponents.
There was a bad game where they played each other that made me want to cry, but now she's not she makes me want to cry saying this. She has a new favorite team. I will let anybody in the chat. My wife, who also aligns with my oldest 22-year-old daughter, they have a new favorite football team that they've been rooting for since last season. Anybody want to guess who that is?
I have two guesses.
So while somebody posts it in the comments, what's your guess?
I'll tell you why after I say this. I'm going to either say the Chiefs or the Ravens. And I have my reasons. Am I wrong on both?
Because they're both Swifties.
There you go. So I said the Chiefs because of Swifties. And I said the Ravens because your wife likes purple.
Hey, to me, Ravens have one of the kick-ass uniforms, one of the best kick-ass uniforms in all of football.
I truly think
them and the Vikings, their uniforms are some of the best-looking uniforms I've ever seen.
I truly think the Ravens are going to win a Super Bowl this year before the season even starts.
Ooh.
I mean, put this down. That's what I'm saying.
Cigars with Big Al. You got it right, KC. Yeah, I will say this. I was a huge Tony Gonzalez fan. To me, one of my Mount Rushmores of tight ends, Tony G is my hero. Watching Tony G and Matty Ice link it up each time, and then I couldn't get any better. But you gotta hand it to Kelsey. The dude's a fucking beast when it comes to the position. His brother was a great center.
Absolutely.
I will say they both have a freaking hilarious podcast. I've been on their podcast since they started because I can't get to watch a lot of the football games I want to watch. So I used to, because they always gave a rundown and they were only on during football season. Now they signed a multi-million-dollar deal that they're on every week now. But they're hilarious.
I will say personally, I like Jason a lot more than Travis after the incident in the Super Bowl last year because I coached and I know it's way different, professional level, whatever, but you do not disrespect a coach like that, especially in a public format.
Yeah, don't put your hands on a coach.
No. And I lost all respect on that. I'm a huge Jason fan when he kind of went on and did his thing when they were in the Super Bowl and he was climbing out of the booth and drinking beers with fans like that. That's my kind of dude, man. Like that was awesome. But I lost all respect. I agree. Travis is one of the best tight ends we will ever see. I still put Tony above him. He was my favorite tight end of all time. But I lost all respect after that play or after that incident during the Super Bowl. Yeah. I can't come back. Yeah.
Big Al says Ravens do have the best uniforms. I would agree. One of my favorite uniforms is the 1990s, early 90s version of the Falcons uniform. I love that old Dirty Bird logo. The Deion.
Me too. They're wearing that 3 times this year. And if I ever, so right now I currently have a Matty Ice jersey, and I know they retired his number, so it's still okay for me to wear on game day and whatever. But I really want a Deion jersey. That's the reason I am a Falcons fan. Like that's how I became a Falcons fan.
See, I told my wife I wanted if I ever could get 2 jerseys in my life, it would be I want the old baby blue Dale Murphy number 3 Braves jersey, and I want a number 88, Tony G jersey. Very nice. So for my birthday, she got me. I opened up the box, and it was the old Braves cap with the old Dale Murphy logo jersey on, with it tickets to go watch the Braves in Cincinnati next weekend.
So, amazing.
Yeah, so that was awesome. Big Al says Jason is the superior Kelsey.
Agreed. Man, I love Big Al more and more every day. Great stuff. Yeah, like if you're a true sports fan, you can actually talk through this shit, and like just watching guys like that play, you know that. I mean, it just, I don't know, creates memories for you as a sports fan. Good stuff.
There's a difference between being a football fan and a Falcons fan. Or just a sports team. You could be a Colts fan or whatever, and the only thing that you ever want to breed is Colts or whatever. And if somebody says something bad about them, you're wanting to fight. I'm not necessarily a huge football fan. There's a couple of teams I like. My dad grew up in Detroit. He would love the Falcons. He loved the Lions. So my second team has always been Detroit. They're drag racing at your house, man.
You hear that? Damn. Okay.
Oh God.
It's loud.
But you can come on here and tell me, and I'll say that, dude, I love the Falcons. You're like, Falcons are shit. Oh, I agree. 100%. 100%. But I love the Falcons.
Yeah.
And so I'm able to have an intelligent conversation with somebody about certain teams, and you tell me that they suck, and I'll be like, yeah, they do. They really do. Yeah. But I do like them.
Yeah, the wife tells me every year she's like, you should be used to this by now. But every year I have that higher hope that they're going to do something they haven't done yet. And it still hasn't happened. But man, every year I still have that hope. And right now I'm in that zone.
Yeah, mine's the same way. She's got to the point to where she's like, I can't watch them anymore. She's like, they'll come out, they'll be banging, the first quarter. They'll be looking really good by halftime. They'll be up, and they'll come out of halftime, and they'll look kind of sluggish, and they'll be up by 6 touchdowns, and then by the end of the game, the team wins by 7. And it's
it's everything.
like yeah, they blew
Yeah.
4 touchdowns. I get
But
it.
this
They
year's
blew 5.
this year's
They blew
different. This year's different. This year's different, brother. I feel it. This year's different.
I am really interested to see what Cousins does.
Me too.
My worry is that the Falcons wanted another name. They saw that he was, injured, and it's like, okay, let's pick him up. And in their head, they're like, okay, because of his age, he's going to be a dude that's going to last the season. He's going to get hurt this season or something. And they all of a sudden saw this new kid come out there, and they're like, okay, we're going to grab him because we're probably going to lose Cousin halfway through the season. So
spot on.
Westside Cigar says, I'm also a St. Louis baseball fan just because my little cousin got drafted by them. Holy shit. Good job for your little cousin.
Can you tell us, sorry, can you tell us who your little cousin is? I was just curious because the Memphis what are they called?
Redbird.
Memphis Redbirds are a Memphis team, yeah. So we kind of follow that lightly. So I was just curious, is he with the Memphis Redbirds or is he actually with St. Louis?
And I was about to say, is he with their farm leagues, their minor league teams, or did he actually get called up to the show? I'd like to know that one. We have the Smokies here, which is a Cubs affiliate. So I became a big Cubs fan. I got to meet the business that I run. It works with kids, and we got to take the kids up there quite a few times to be on the field with the players, meet the players and stuff like that. And we became really good friends with, a couple of the players who, this was 10, 15 years ago, who made it up to Chicago. And it was nice to be able to see them go from minor leagues and play in the big league. So he said he just got promoted to high A and he's in Florida.
Okay.
Do you know what the team name is that he's with? Give me a second. You can keep talking. I've got my earbuds in. I've got to turn this fan off because it's getting freaking chilly out here.
Now he leaves me hanging. It's all right.
No, I'm still here.
So we're going to talk about future episodes, and we're still going to wrap this up here because I know everybody's sick of hanging out for an hour and a half. So we're going to talk about, we got Cavalier coming up. We have Silent Hero. I expect to be gone longer. We have Silent Hero coming up. We have Cigars with M coming up. Michelle, one of our friends from one of my friends from Real Minutes days. Great human. Our first female guest on the show. So it's gonna be incredible. We got a few just coming up with us that we're gonna continue to do our segments and have fun with it and hopefully interact with some great people out there. But we got some good stuff coming up, man. We got like the rest of the year pretty much filled.
We have Chad and Tyler with the Honest Cigar Experience. They'll be on with us October 30th. So they'll be on there. We have 2 or 3 podcasts that's already agreed to be on. They're just waiting for me to give dates. I do know that I've got 3 or 4 cigar brands that have asked for us to have them on. They're just waiting for dates so they can try to line it up. Westside says Hunter Hayes is the kid's name. So we'll look him up.
Okay.
So, one of the things that we were talking about was it was more me. I was wanting, just because of my work schedule and home schedule and everything, trying to keep it to a couple of times a month. But we have so many people that are interested in being on that, there's a good chance we may be doing some back-to-back weeks if, Mick is still up for it. And my wife
always
is up for it. So we also have, we ran it. We had the thought about doing the Real Smoke from the eyes of our wives and try to get our wives on here one night and let them take over and dish out the shit, which, if that happens, the channel's done. We're gone. He says he's with the Chiefs. So I guess his the team name is the Chiefs.
Okay. Definitely looking that up once we're done here. That's awesome. Congrats to him, man. That's It's living the dream regardless of what level you're at.
I do know that next week we will take the week off, just because when we reached out to Brian, this was brand new. We hadn't even talked about doing the test episode yet. As Cigars Big Al said, having the wives on could be dangerous. It could be absolutely fun as shit. I'm just saying, because our two wives get on very well. So
absolutely.
Dushosaurus Rex said, I just came back, but do not let the wives have the podcast.
We'll take that into consideration.
Again, I know we are taking next week off. We'll come back the following week with Brian. When we reached out to him, we said we wanted to have him on as our first guest. So we'll have him on as our first guest. And then between now and then, we'll actually start looking at the schedule and seeing if we want to actually start putting people, either moving people up or putting multiple people on a little bit more often than what we thought. And maybe until the end of the year, and at least get some of these first few ones done. So before we do finalize things and people start jumping off, which people are starting to jump off, which I understand. I wouldn't want to look at my ugly face for an hour and a half. Third, I'm in the third, of course. I said the cigar is black coffee, oak, baking spice, little nuts.
Devin.
And it's leaving like a black pepper taste on my lips. The retro is black pepper, coffee, and earth. It's medium plus right now. No more than a medium plus.
I am also at a medium plus. Hard to believe we're agreeing on something. Medium plus. I'm still getting a little bit of chocolate notes on the back end, some black pepper, and mild coffee notes as I go through. But I would say medium plus. It's definitely, as with most cigars, a little stronger in the back end. I did total everything up. I'm not quite through the final third, but I did total everything up. Are we close to ready for a final score?
Sure. If you want to go ahead and break down your categories and what you gave each category with numbers and your totals, go ahead, and I'll do the same after mine. So if anybody, at first, has anybody, I know we still have a couple on YouTube and we have a couple people still on Instagram. If anybody in here has smoked the Las Calaveras 24, what were your thoughts? Go ahead and post those in the comments. What was your thoughts on there? What would you rate it? Did you like it? Would you smoke it again? Put your thoughts in there. If you haven't tried it, put your thoughts on it there and, let us know, hey, I haven't seen this one. My shop doesn't carry it. So Mick, let us know break down your scoring and tell us what you got.
All right, here's what we got. Appearance, 4 out of 5. Construction, 5 out of 5. Aroma and cold draw, 5 out of 5. I never give a 5 out of 5 for a cold draw. It was strange with this one. It was like hay and raisins, and I really liked it, and I don't know why, but 5 out of 5. Flavor, 4 out of 5. Second, third, 4 out of 5. Final third, 5 out of 5. I like that stronger cigar. So it gave me a little bit more medium full to full. So that's why I went from 4 out of 5 to 5 out of 5. Overall, good, 8 out of 10. So that's a total of 21 out of 25. Smoking characteristics. The draw was excellent. The burn was excellent. I know you had a couple issues with yours, but mine was razor sharp the whole way. Smoke production, 4 out of 5. So 24 out of 25. On my back page, I got overall impression of the cigar, 20 out of 25. And would I smoke it again? Yes, I would buy a box, 8 out of 10. So 28 out of 35. My total rating for this cigar is an 87 out of 100.
You got an 87. All right.
Yes, sir.
Reading what Down to Herf put on there. Down to Herf said that chocolate bomb with mild spice is very well constructed. See, that's the one thing I didn't get. This is one cigar that I never picked up any chocolate off of, but the mild spices definitely got and well constructed. I would 100% agree with that one. Again, I'll go off the Cigar Public rating system. Only reason I didn't change up and do a different one is it just keeps my rating system with the same thing that I got to do when I review their cigars as well. Construction out of 20, I gave it a 19 just because I did a little touch up on it. Got a little bit crazy that one time. Draw gave a 14 out of 15 just because it was a little loose. I like it a little tighter. Just saying. I like it tighter. The burn, just because, again, I gave it that little touch up and it got a little wonky, showed it on here. Same thing that happened to me before. I gave it a 14 out of 15. Flavor complexity, it didn't have a lot of notes. So I gave it an 18 out of 20. But flavor enjoyability, I did enjoy what it had. I wish it would have had, like, Down to Herb said that he got some, they got some chocolate out of it. I would love to have gotten some of that sweetness, but I didn't. So over enjoyability, I gave it an 18 out of 20. I enjoyed it. Smoke output versus texture, a lot of smoke. It was nice. I gave it a 4 out of 5. And overall experience, gave it a 4 out of 5. Mine was a 91.
Very close.
So
Very close.
You said yours was what?
87. So we're an 89 combined.
Yeah. So not bad. Yeah, Down to Herb podcast. Thanks for jumping on here. I just watched one of your videos today. You guys do a fantastic ass job. Absolutely love what you guys are doing. Would love to have, we're somebody who's wanting to have a different cigar podcast on ours. I don't know if Mick knows about you guys or watches you guys, but I would love to have you guys on here and all of us smoke the same cigar and bullshit a little bit because, you guys seem to have fun with that. And that's kind of what we're wanting to do. And Paul puts in here, he likes it tighter for sure.
Paul waits till the last minute and has one comment. Love Paul. Bravo.
Down to Herb says, thanks, bro. Anytime you want to chat, let's set it up. Brother, we'll do that. We'll definitely get together and do that one. Like we said, we're going to try to be doing a little more because we got a lot of people, that's interested in, just from the club that we're in, we've set up a lot of good connections with a lot of great people. And some of them are big brands, some are small brands, some are up and coming. But it's not really the brand; it's the people behind the brand, and I love telling the story. So,
absolutely,
definitely would love to know about you guys a little bit more. So again, I think it was a great cigar. It would be definitely one that I would smoke again. Would I buy a box? Yeah, I would buy a box. I think you were telling a story at the beginning that somebody was saying that just because of the reason behind it, that they celebrate it, they buy a box, and anytime they're thinking about someone who's passed, they light up one of the cigars. I mean, that would actually be a great idea to do. I absolutely love that.
I think it's going to be part of mine. Yeah, it's amazing.
I think you can find some of the past years, and sometimes they go on sale a little bit. I think I might pick up some of the past ones that I've enjoyed, and actually just keep that in the humidor just for that reason. Whether you're thinking about a buddy who's passed or mama who passed or whatever, just one of those hard days, grab that cigar and light it up.
100%.
Down to Herb said, also good luck with the show. It's a grind, but it's a great way to connect with the community. 100% agree.
That's what we're here for, man. We've met so many great people already through what we do and through the club. We're just trying to extend that hand a little bit and hopefully meet some more great people along the way and just have fun doing it. That's what we do.
Well, before everybody jumps off here, and if you're listening to this on a replay or on Spotify or anywhere else, go follow me at smoke_n_oak_tn, smoke and oak tn on Instagram. You got Mick. You can follow him at real_minutes on Instagram. We have our page, the Real Smoke page on Instagram, and you can go find us on YouTube or anywhere else. If you're interested in a nice community of crazy ass cigar smokers, you can check out the TriStar Herb Crew on Instagram as well. We would love to have you follow us on there. And if you're looking for some good cigar reviews or whiskey news and things like that, you can go check out cigarpublic.com or look at them at Cigar Public on Instagram. So that's a lot of different links that we're all affiliated with. But hey, go check us all out. And again, it's about the community. So
yeah, or you could just follow us. You could just follow Real Smoke Pod, because we all post together at the same time. So you'll eventually get linked to all of us. So it'll be great.
And we'll be posting stuff out. I guess we do have Cavalier coming up. I'm sure we can both we can get up with Brian. I'll send Brian. Well, Brian won't be smoking because Brian will be in Germany at Intertabac. And it'll be 2:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning when he gets on. So I don't think he'll be smoking from the hotel room, but we'll try to grab a cigar that's Cavalier related. You guys grab a cigar that's Cavalier related. Come join us and hang out with us when we do that one.
Yeah, can't wait. I already got a shelf dedicated to Cavalier, so I got a few to choose from. I don't know if I'm going to find the 2024 yet. It's not in our area yet, but no, we appreciate Brian jumping on, especially at that time in the morning. Brian's one of our boys. I know Charles is very close with him. We just appreciate him jumping on and being willing to be a part of this. So we appreciate all you guys tuning in, like Charles said, and being a part of what we're trying to build is the cigar community, and just reach out and have fun and enjoy times, man. We love the comments, we love the follows. We just love being a part of everybody jumping in on what we're doing. So thank you very much.
West Side says, nice job with the segment, fellas. We appreciate you, West Side. Love that you jumped on here tonight along with everybody else. Great job, guys. Appreciate y'all what you do from Big Al. Big Al, we thank you as well for jumping on here. Yeah. Do us a favor. You can send Real Smoke Pod a message and let us know that we could do better. Would love it if you post it, good or bad. Again, if you say, hey, your tasting notes are bullshit because I don't like the way that you got rubber tires and condoms as one of your tasting notes. Post in the comments below. Let us know what we can do better, what we need to do worse at. Tell us what we can do worse at, and we'll try to get that going. And we had talked about having a whiskey on sometimes. And one thing I did see with one of the podcasts that we just talked about, they do a whiskey every week as well. So it's great to see that people's highlighting cigars and bourbon and whiskey. So that's great. Yeah. So got anything else for us, brother?
Man, I think I'm good. I think we covered everything plus some, and it was a great night, man. It's always great hanging out with you and the cigar community. So I appreciate everyone that tuned in, and man, I appreciate everything you're doing there. You're like running the switchboard over there. So I appreciate it, brother.
Westside wants to know, are there flavored condoms? Yes, there are.
I've heard stories. Yes.
There are. Just saying. So hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. Thanks for jumping on here. Make sure that you follow all of us and all the things that we do on here. I don't want to go back through them again. Make sure you follow us. Please go to our YouTube page. Please go follow our YouTube page. We'd love to get that up there. And we have 2 more weeks to try to get us 100 more followers on Instagram. So help us out with that one. So until next time, I guess we will see you guys later.
Yeah, much love. See you guys.
See ya.